Welcome back, everyone, to theCUBE's special presentation of Crypto Trailblazers. I'm John Furrier, host of theCUBE here in the Palo Alto studios. We've got a great guest of lineups here, leaders coming in, investors, entrepreneurs, designers, everyone who's weighing in on the future of the infrastructure and also the future of crypto, whether it's commerce, finance, or impact. It's all happening here on theCUBE. We have Will Entriken here, he's the proprietor of William Entriken Design. Will, thanks for coming in all the way from Philly to Palo Alto, remote. Appreciate you
That's
taking the
right.
time.
Hi, John. Great to meet you.
So obviously you're doing a ton of work around NFTs, the role of NFTs, obviously store of value is a big topic of obviously crypto and blockchain. NFTs are clearly an asset class of itself. There's some technology under the covers. It's kind of a double bottom line. It's a store of value, and there's also some technology involved. So first, what's your view of the current market on the NFTs right now? You got Ethereum. We just had a conversation earlier about Bitcoin, protocols, layer one, storage. Set the table for us. What's going on in the NFT market?
Yes, so NFT market and NFTs. So I got involved with NFTs at the beginning, like picking the letter NFT. Was that even something that people are going to want to say over and over? And then connecting it to artwork is how it's really known today. That's really been the biggest market mover. That's been a lot of excitement during the pandemic. And even the South Park episode really was just, I guess, the peak. But just attaching blockchain to all this creativity we have out there and people buying this stuff. And when there's a lot of buying, that's a market, right? And we got to the point where people were buying this stuff and they don't even like the artwork. So we know how that turned out as a market, as an asset that you would invest in.
Yeah.
But actually, NFT was a technology, and this technology does more than just artwork. We didn't design it for just artwork. And as the tech, as the NFT of itself, it's actually doing pretty well. So just recently, the Food and Drug Administration in the US just authorized using blockchain to track cattle. So track age and source verification. And that's actually important for exporting. So you need to know what is it you're selling and where it came from and how old it is to prevent fraud. And they're allowing this on blockchain, which is it's a great use case for that.
And with
Not a lot of money. You can't invest in these cattle, but it just is a common use case.
Yeah, I mean, we've been through the cycle. You mentioned it. You mentioned the hype cycle. Some things happened. There's been some bear markets, some nuclear winters they call it, but now we're starting to see a regulatory environment, and also the maturization of it. Like you're starting to see people getting the reps in, new people are coming in, the technology's maturing. Is there something that you see in the technology or on the market as people are in it longer? It's just natural evolution. The iterations happening. What are some of the cool things that have settled in from a kind of a market standpoint, but also technology? What's exciting?
Well, they line up. So, and I like the seasons. I like we've got to have a season. Like autumn. I've never heard crypto autumn, but maybe we're in crypto spring right now between the winter and the summer. I don't know, but like you said, there's some rhymes, right? So the halvening comes. I know we've got the Bitcoin season, but there are things that rhyme. So NFTs were pictures, right? And then we've got these meme coins, which are pictures, but they're fungible. You can quote invest or you can ape into them, as we say. So people just get crazy with these, and that kind of rhymes with NFTs, right? So, sorry, can you still see me?
Yeah,
Because I can't see
yeah,
you.
we can see you. Yep,
Oh,
gotcha.
oh, cool. Sorry. So people are getting crazy about this. So is it really the pictures or the celebrity endorsements?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know what that is. But what's coming next is we're going to have more types of things that are connected and more asset classes. And also a very important part about this, as you said, the maturization, right? The regulation that's keeping up. Well, a lot of the regulation has just specifically excluded NFT. So we're just talking about that right now. MiCA, the European regulation, specifically excludes NFTs, and I'm a little bit afraid that they're going to just drive a truck through that and take things that are clearly what they're trying to regulate and then just call it an NFT and get it through. I'll be sad if that happens. Likewise, in the US, there's a lot of things that are just completely exempt. The NFT stuff is completely exempt from a lot of the regulations. But that is really the shrinking market, the market in terms of dollars in, dollars out. I don't see that as the next future for crypto. There's a lot of things that crypto's got coming, and I don't think trading pictures is going to be the growth market.
What's going to be the consequences of that oversight and the regulation, or not oversight, the miss of regulation? Is that a good thing or bad thing, or will the value shift? What happens after that? I mean, what do you see?
Yeah, so I'm a hacker, I'm a builder, right? So I'm going to put the hacker hat on now.
Of course.
That is a regulation hole, and people are going to drive a truck right through it. So somebody's going to have a huge business opportunity to do things that uh, would not be
Yeah.
feasible under a lot of other type of rules, and they're just going to do it as an NFT until they shut that down with an opinion. That's going to be real easy, and I don't want to even focus on that. I don't get involved in these
Yeah.
type of uh, enterprising projects. But the other opportunities that are coming up are way bigger than this. I mean, aside from this hype cycle we had on this one specific asset class, these tokens have gone a long way, and they're about to run out of steam too. I mean, we've got all these projects, we call them layer ones, layer twos, these are just very commoditized systems for moving tokens back and forth. There's only so much steam that can have, and crypto is an amazing thing, and that is not even the next use case.
What's the dynamic of the on-chain dynamic? Because that's a conversation that's happening a lot. The pointer to a database is all, store of value is the value of crypto, right? So if you're pointing to a database or a cloud, you don't pay the bill, something happens. I mean,
Okay.
this comes into like, what is it?
Yeah, so you're talking about permanence.
Yeah.
So I'll just give you a use case, and again, this is not a market thing.
Yeah.
This is not something you're going to trade, but luxury watches, handbags, these are something you're going to own for a long time, and you want to confirm that they are authentic. That system is currently run on paper for a lot of brands, but we're also doing it on crypto, and that's going to last permanently. That makes a lot of sense. Store value, I don't really think store value is a permanent decentralized thing. I mean, how many people put money in and really keep it there for 50 years? In the US, we do that a lot just because of tax reasons of how retirement accounts work. But that is not the main use case of crypto, is just buying Bitcoin and holding it for 50 years. I feel like there's got to be more than that.
Yeah.
And even the thing that we're buying now is just stable coins, which is a deflationary asset.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, are we just buying, USDC to just sit there? No, we want to pay our rent. We want to do commerce.
Yeah.
So it's not really about, we say store value. I'm talking short term. You're talking about short term.
Yeah.
This is not generational wealth.
You bring up the commerce side of it, which is with that comment, which is like, concept of narrow banking comes up. When are we going to see basically banking so I can get some liquidity? And that's been a big conversation this week is, in the market. Okay, I mean, I buy the store of value. I know it's not like your real estate you can't build on or whatever. You want to hold it. Yeah, there's some holding strategies. Yeah, there's durability. It won't burn down. But making it work, putting it into the market is a huge factor. What's your take on that? How do you see that happening? Any movement there? Any signs of positive momentum in technology,
Yeah.
companies, products, ideas?
Yeah. So you brought in the one thing was the durability, the immutability, we call it as nerds, and the transactions are going to be publicly viewable forever. I saw your other view with Mike Cagney, great interview, and he brought up another part about middlemen. Middlemen. We
Yeah.
buy something, there's a lot of middlemen, and blockchain is actually very good at adding middlemen. So this is a feature, not a bug. In
Explain.
the other interview, we were talking about removing middlemen. I'm going to use Visa. I have a bank. There's a Visa. There's a clearing. The merchant has a bank, and then it's got to wait 5 days or a month, and there's chargebacks. These are features. People want chargebacks. People want to have anti-fraud. They want to have anti-money laundering. They want to buy something on a popular website and they or an unpopular website and be not afraid of doing commerce. These are features. So I don't think that's going to be going away. But actually, the other feature of blockchain is the composability.
Yeah.
If you want to start a bank and connect to Visa, good luck.
Yeah.
That's not something you're going to do. If you want to create a DeFi protocol, something that connects MoneyWise to some other existing project in blockchain, you can launch that tomorrow, and just with a couple people in your garage, and it's a lot easier. And actually, you can avoid some regulation because you're not really touching the money. You're just moving it or something or giving access,
Yeah.
and you can do very big things with a lot less licenses that you would need to compete with Visa.
Yeah, well, you definitely got the multiple hats on. You got the hacker, you got the builder, developer, but you also got the market pragmatic view. So let's talk about that because this has come up in a few conversations where, I just had an interview with the CEO of Kraken, one of the largest exchanges. I talked to the folks at Coinbase, and these consumer exchanges and these platforms, they think like users, buying users, but they also are their platforms. So you're basically getting into that last piece was about, hey, it could be layer 1, 2, or 3, or you can actually have multiple service layers. So you're talking about a platform. You're talking about like basically technology apps. Like you got, okay, I
Yeah.
can have all immutability as that's infrastructure. It's classic layered approach. I want to work with I want chargebacks. Great, someone can offer that as a service. but it
Yes.
has to build into the system, right? So talk about that piece, because I think a lot of people get hung up on the dogma of layer one on the chain, we got layer two, not layer three. Ethereum does this, Solana does that.
Yeah.
Like, so there's a lot of like conversations where people are, I won't say misrepresenting. There's a slice in the salami, as we say. So like, okay, whatever you view is. So it's not a one piece of the stack solution at
No,
all.
I love it. That's a great question. And I'm even going to go back to layer zero using cash because we can't forget about the TradFi or the existing companies because they can innovate. If they wake up and learn how to, they can actually do any of this. All of the applications we're talking about on blockchain are entirely possible with banks today. There's nothing that we're doing that can't be done with a bank. And I know that's going to explode some heads out there. They just haven't done it.
Yeah.
The fact that we can connect and compose applications on blockchain is just because the nerds that gave us blockchain made it composable.
Yeah. I mean,
And your bank didn't.
it's not a, I mean, again, this is evolution, right? It's like the caveman, they're walking erect at some point.
Yeah.
Like at some point the market will have to move to where the market is. Again, it's just, there's transitions, old way, new way. Where are
Yeah.
we? I mean, so, okay, let's take that path.
Yeah.
What happens next?
I'll
I
say,
mean, where are we?
here's where we are. We're doing commerce. You're using your credit card. We're in the US. So you're using your credit card to buy coffee and you're still paying the extra 3% that you would have got with the cash
Yeah.
discount. Why? Because it's physically harder to get the cash out when you buy coffee. It's just physically harder. And nobody uses debit cards in the US because you don't get a 3% discount. Europe doesn't have these problems. China doesn't even have money the way that we have money. It's just totally different. So this is a uniquely US problem. But some of these other features, I mean, I work in a business and I send you money. You don't even know that the money's sent. There's 3 days.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Yeah. Venmo
Now,
works great. Yeah, I love
it's
Venmo.
Venmo's decent, but you don't use it for payrolls and there's limits and there's the
Yeah. Yeah.
$300 thing, right? So some people are using Bitcoin for this, but it's not easy enough yet.
Yeah.
When I'm able to pay my employees and immediately get a receipt that they can take to the bank and borrow against, that's the future.
Yeah.
We
Awesome.
don't have it in blockchain and we don't have it in the real world.
Where's
Now,
it?
guess what? The Western Union could do this today. If I had an extra so many billion, I would buy Western Union today just for all the licenses they have, and I would deploy all these features on the existing rails because all you need to do is just give a receipt when you send money, make it digitally verifiable.
Yeah.
And guess what? Programmable money and composability, you can do that on a Chase account. You can do this on Western Union. All you got to do is just do this little magical digital signatures thing that all these nerds know about, and you have composability with an API.
That's the classic. That's the classic conversation, because what you're pointing out is obvious, right? So like, hey, why don't they do it? But here's the problem: they don't do it because they're old, stuck in the mud, and so someone just says, hey, if they're not going to do it, I'm just going to eat their lunch. So I think
Right.
this is the entrepreneurial side of it. So you're pointing out lots of white spaces, lots of opportunities. How does that get there? What's your advice to people out there who are building, saying, hey, you know what? If I can't buy Western Union, how do I just replicate them?
Yeah, so it is the licenses, the money broker licenses, the money translator licenses. It needs to be done in each state in the U.S. and there's also national licenses, anti-money laundering. So the way that the banks have succeeded until today is you between cross pollinate between the banks and the government
Yeah.
to make everything legal. Okay. Well, now we need to cross pollinate between the banks and the crypto because we actually need to build these products. Some of the crypto products, they don't even work. You can't even open them. Your money disappears. You click on the wrong thing, your money's gone. These are rookie mistakes that at a minimum we need to do at least as good as the banks are doing.
Yeah.
How many times do you open the news? Oh, everybody lost their money. There was a typo. That's still happening today.
Yeah.
And these projects are just an embarrassment to the establishment.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
if we can
sole
get
custody
this
comes up a
level,
lot too. I mean, I lost my
yeah,
keys. What's your take on sole custody? Because I think that becomes very important versus having a centralized piece. What are some good
got to do
use
it.
cases and people can implement that you see?
You got to do sole custody, but also we have to, as a community, you're in it, I'm in it. The community, we need to find a way to fund these things
Yeah,
because right now they've got these self custody projects. Who's paying for them?
yeah,
It's self custody, so they're not getting a percentage of your money. So it's kind of a best effort case. We need top of the line stuff here that's actually going to work. And we just saw a huge amount of money just lost because the pop up came. They clicked OK and they didn't know what they were clicking,
yeah,
and they forgot to put that in the app.
yeah.
So you know,
Bad design.
let's make better apps.
Yeah.
Bad design.
Will, we really appreciate you coming in from Philly. Final minute left. What are you working on? What's cool? What do you have your eyes on? Obviously, you get your finger on the pulse. You got a great optimism. I think you're blowing minds out there for sure, but that's just opportunity you're seeing. So what are you working on now? What are you excited about?
Here's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about the next asset class. And I'll tell it to you, the thing that got NFTs exciting was we took artwork that was outside the blockchain and connected it. Boom, everything exploded. Let's take more valuable stuff outside of blockchain and connect it, like businesses. So here's the perfect storm. I'll just give it to you real fast. We've got in the United States, we're deregulating how we invest in private companies, hopefully. We've heard about the crypto czar, the AI czar, maybe giving us an accredited investor test. Okay, accredited investors can invest. You don't have to be a millionaire anymore to buy private companies. How are you going to buy that? With the rails of crypto. So buy and sell. I think that that's going to be way more valuable than the pictures of the past, but the connection is what makes it valuable. Connecting these things to real businesses, it's exciting.
Will Entriken here on the Crypto Trailblazers. You're trailblazing, keep going. Love what you're working on, love the ideas, continue to innovate, get building, keep hacking, and have fun. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, we are here for the Crypto Trailblazers, theCUBE Trailblazers as well. I'm John Furrier, host of theCUBE here in our Palo Alto studios. We'll be right back.